Hey guys, Ando here from SenseiAndo.com. You know, learning how to punch is one thing, but learning how to land those punches, well, that's something else. Today I want to look at one bad habit, one terrible habit, that will keep you from landing punches whether you're sparring or, God forbid, in a real fight. Now, before you get cocky and think this bad habit doesn't apply to you, let me just tell you, it can show up 3 different ways, but they all end up in the same place, with you getting beat up. Let's see if we can fix that right now. Okay, so what's the bad habit? Leaning. I call it riding the seesaw. Why? Because when you watch some people fight, they look like this. They rock back and forth. It can happen while they're punching. It can happen while they're kicking. Either way, that's a bad habit. I also call it riding the seesaw because if you fight like that, you're going to see the other guy saw right through you. Let's break down all 3 of these seesaws and fix them right now. Okay, seesaw number 1. That would be any time you lean forward to land your punches. There are so many things wrong with this, I don't even know where to get started. How about the head? For one thing, you are giving your head to the bad guy. You're putting it on a silver platter for him to hit. You might as well just shove an apple in your mouth. Number 2, every time you lean forward, you are opening up your lower line to getting punched, kicked, and taken down. Not cool. Number 3, every time you lean forward and you reach outside of your stance, you are opening yourself up to getting pulled off balance, to getting your head snapped down. Once again, not cool. But this video is about how to land more punches. So how does leaning forward keep you from landing more punches? Well, I'll tell you. Every time you lean forward on that front foot, you are sticking your weight to it. So let's say you did, with that super fast, leaning, lazy punch, you hit the other guy. At this moment, how can I follow up? My only choices are to keep going forward, out of control, falling, or I have to pull back to get in my stance and then shuffle in and use my punches. Either way, you are not in control, you're not safe, and you're not going to be at your maximum output for punching. Now, don't get me wrong, leaning is very fast. It might be fine at the dinner table at Christmas time when your Uncle Bob's had a few pops and he starts mouthing off about how karate doesn't work in the real world. So you lean across the table really fast and you give him a taste of your knuckles. Happy holidays, Uncle Bob. But if you're training for the ring, if you're training for the street, leaning will get you killed. So don't be lazy. Stay in your stance, keep your hands up, only fight from a position of balance and power, and you'll not only be safer, you'll be landing more punches. Seesaw number 2. That would be any time you catch yourself leaning backwards at the same time that you're trying to punch forwards. 2 problems with that. Number 1, you're shortening your reach. How can you possibly expect to have your full-length punch while you're leaning backward? Number 2, you're cutting your power in half. Your hand's going this way, your body's going that way. You know the phrase divide and conquer? Well, if you divide your body, you will be conquered. Time for a little straight talk. Leaning forward or backward during a fight is usually a hard habit to break. That's because it's rooted in fear. Sorry, but that's the way it is. You're either afraid of committing your body into the fight, or you're just straight up afraid of being punched in the face, which is fine, that's natural. I know this is true because if you watch people hit the mitts or you watch them hit a heavy bag, they can stay in their stance just fine. They use good form, their head's tucked, they're not leaning forward or backward unless they're being lazy. But as soon as they get into a live sparring drill, fear pushes that head back or keeps their hips back and keeps them from committing, which therefore keeps them from landing punches. So what can you do to solve that? The only way to get over the fear of being hit is to go get hit. The more you spar, the less you'll panic. Now, I'm not saying go get hit in the head 1,000 times, suffer brain damage, and wind up on the sofa drooling into a big bowl of applesauce for the rest of your life. Here's what I am saying. Find a partner, somebody you trust. Ask them nicely to throw some soft punches at your head. All I want you to do is practice breathing. Practice staring down those punches. Practice keeping perfect form. Then you can start moving around a little bit. It won't take long. You'll be able to start adding speed, power, fighting back. Then you can move on to other things you might be afraid of. Kicks, snakes, sticks, knives, chainsaws, whatever you want. Throw it into the drill. Seesaw number 3. That would be any time you lean backwards while throwing kicks. Now this one is tricky because so many martial artists will tell you that they lean back on purpose when they put their foot up. The idea there is that they're counterbalancing. The higher the leg, the more they counterbalance with their torso. There are some people who will even drop their head all the way to the floor so they can kick straight up. That's a great skill to have if you're ever attacked by a barn owl. Here's the thing. If you want to land more punches, well, doesn't it make sense to keep your hands inside punching range? Yeah. But what happens if you're counterbalancing a kick? Watch. Every time you lean back, your hands are farther away from your target. That's not the way to land more punches. What you want to do is stay in your stance, keep your hands in the range that you want so that your rhythm is tight. You should be doing kick, punch, punch, like kick, punch, punch. That's a good combination that doesn't give your opponent a gap to do his game. Unfortunately, when you counterbalance, your rhythm becomes kick, beat, punch, punch, because your hands are so far away. Kick, punch, punch. Did you hear that? Kick, beat, punch, punch. Now that beat may not sound like a big deal to you, but maybe that's because you're only sparring schlubs. If you're sparring somebody good, somebody who knows what they're doing, well, guess what? That little gap that you left is all the time they need to work their A game, to play their magic on you. In that case, guess what? You may wake up in the hospital, and that's if you wake up at all. So, keep in your stance. Keep your back straight. If you're going to counterbalance and do a wild and crazy kick, just know that you are going to be vulnerable for that gap until you can right yourself and get your hands back in position to throw more punches. One more thing. Don't get cocky and think, oh, you never ride the seesaw. Look, professional fighters and some seriously bad dudes get caught leaning all the time. So here's what you should do. The next time you're sparring or running some live self-defense drills, videotape yourself. Then you can hide away in a dark corner of your home in private and watch yourself. Take a look. I think you'll be surprised at how often you catch yourself riding the seesaw. Make it fun. Every time you see yourself leaning forward or backward, do 10 squats. It's like a drinking game, but good for you. Wham, bam, boom. That was today's tip. Get off the seesaw, and I promise you'll not only throw better punches, you're going to land a whole lot more of them. If you like that tip, hey, hit subscribe. What are you waiting for? Then click on over to senseiando.com and get on my email list. It's free. Until next time, keep fighting for a happy life.